welcome to Lords of the Sith. I'm Mary, and today I'm with Lee.
Hello.
And Monty.
Hello.
Hey, so today we'll be talking about our thoughts on the trailer, the title. Finally, guys, I know we've been keeping you waiting. And also Lee and Monty's experience at Celebration.
Woo!
So, guys, just to start off, go on. Give me your thoughts on the trailer.
I like the trailer. Still kind of spotty on the name. It depends on how good the movie is, and it might swing me around to it. But as long as the movie's good, that's all I care about.
I actually am the other way around. I like the name, but I don't like the trailer. I thought it was kind of meh. You know,
Lee gasped.
There was nothing that got me hooked or that I kept replaying in my mind and thinking about, oh my God, I have to watch that again. But I like the title. I think it's kind of lame, but I like it.
It's a lame title.
Oh, come on. It's a great title.
No, but we'll get to that later. So we'll start by going through the scenes in the trailer. So, of course, we'll be starting with the big one, the opening scene, where Kylo appears to be running way down with his shiny new TIE fighter. Guys, what is your opinion on this? Because I have no idea what to think of the scene. When I saw it, I was just like, what the heck is going on?
I thought the same thing too, that they must be fighting or duking it out, but the more I think about it, it seems more like they're training together.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of a sloppy attack running over with like the TIE fighter. Kylo could do better than that. I know he's got a ways to go, but I'm sure he can think of a better attack strategy than that.
I think he's just chasing after Rey, just saying, ship us! Why don't you ship us?
Like, hey, look at my fancy new ride, baby. Come on, give me a shot here.
It is a fancy new ride. Actually, supposedly it's been confirmed that it is a two-seater. So, like, Kylo wants a co-pilot, you know? So, but I have to admit, when I saw her, you know, looking to the left, looking to the right, and then the ship comes and she runs away, I'm like, what are they doing? And then when she did the jump, I was like, it's weird. Like, what is happening right now? But then when I thought, you know, and I saw the speculation that, it's a training session, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So I'm okay with it now.
I don't know. I mean, there's a scene later on in the trailer where Poe and Finn with C-3PO are like in one of those like little glider things similar to whatever that glider thing in Return of the Jedi was. There seems to be like outrunning stormtroopers. So I'm just wondering if this scene is connected. We don't know. Maybe the First Order troopers go after Finn and Poe, and maybe Kylo goes after Rey. I don't know.
You know what? What struck me about it visually is that, first of all, it's just the two of them in this vast kind of desert. It reminded me a little bit of the Room of Requirement in Harry Potter. Like when you can go somewhere, it's just the two of them, and they have their little space to practice defense against the dark arts or whatever. So I like that. I also like that it reminded me a little bit of the visual of Finn when he crash lands on Jakku and he takes his stormtrooper mask off from the trailer of TFA. So it had a few nice little callbacks there.
I like the fact they have their own secret rendezvous points too. It's always showing that maybe they're getting past their little tiff and they're going to work together some.
Their little tiff.
Their little tiff. Yeah, I mean, speaking of Jakku, though, I'm hoping that this is Jakku because, like Luke and Anakin before her, the protagonist always leaves their home as a child and returns as an adult. So again, I think that would be really nice for Rey to do that. She's left as a girl and she's returning as a woman.
Jakku is the most boring place in the entire galaxy, in my opinion, and I'd be totally fine if we never go there again. But I understand from what you're saying, like thematically, it makes sense. Okay, fine.
It's a full circle thing. Shows that now she's not the little girl she was and that she comes back. It seems like, wow, this place seems a lot smaller than it was before. Not as big as I thought. So definitely it will make sense story-wise.
I'd love to go back to Naboo. Can we do that?
Maybe in The Mandalorian, but probably not here.
I don't know. I think it's possible here because, there is a connection, obviously, with, the Skywalkers, or rather, the Amidala's.
And that character who laughed at the end. He's from Naboo.
Exactly. Interestingly. But, I'd love to touch on some planets that we've seen before and come full circle, but Jakku is just, Jakku.
Jakku is Jakku. All right, so next we have that spaceship flying towards a particular place. Any comments on this? It kind of looks like that stormy planet from Rogue One.
No, the thing, everybody's talked about it already. We mentioned it also in our podcast stage appearance at Celebration that it just looks a little bit like the ship that left Rey back in Jakku. I don't know. Maybe is it like the present? Is it the past, or is it connected to Rey's lineage in some way? Or
But yeah, then there's the next scene where Kylo appears to be fighting what I'm assuming are resistance fighters in that forest. I think this is the scene where they were filming in a forest in the UK. There was like one of the I can't remember what it was called, but there was a forest that was all cordoned off. So I think this is the place. And I've heard a lot of people say it's Salad Bowl, and it's like Rey's vision come full circle. I don't think so. I just think it's a generic, battle between pockets of the Resistance, but the people who are against the First Order, and Kylo is just fighting them. And I think this is before he gets his mask repaired, because obviously he's barefaced there.
Well, it kind of looks to me like one of the Knights of Ren. I mean, they're wearing all black like them,
mm-hmm.
and I don't see the Resistance fighters dressed like that. They all dress kind of uniformly, like bright colors, orange, stuff like that.
Yeah, like black is a color that's too glamorous for the Resistance. Sorry. It looks a little bit like a samurai. So it really does seem like it's a Knight of Ren to me, but I don't know. We'll see.
I honestly don't think it is, but there's also that place where I think in one of the new books, the character Vi from the Phasma book, she's part of the Resistance, but she goes to a planet where there's like bounty hunters and like scum and villainy there. Bateau, it's called. I'm wondering if it could be there, or it's just a place where bounty hunters are, and for some reason they don't like the First Order on their turf, so they fight them.
Or it could be a Knight of Ren, and Kylo could be turning against his own dudes because he wants to protect Rey. And he doesn't have the mask on because he took it off, because he didn't need it anymore, because he's now on the light side. How about that?
That could be cool,
or it could be the Knights of Ren have turned against Kylo for whatever reason.
Yeah, they're like, we don't like this girl's influencing you. Let's gang up on him.
Like the Beatles and Yoko.
Like the Beatles and Yoko.
Broke up the band. What about this idea that the scene that we see of Kylo's mask being repaired, those hands don't belong to Kylo because they look hairy and, just not Kylo-like.
They're Chewbacca's hands. He's kidnapped Chewbacca to repair his mask.
I like that idea a lot.
Maybe he shaved his arms too, just to teach him a lesson.
He shaved his arms.
Seriously, what do you guys think of that? What's going on there? Is it that he hired somebody to do it for him, or does this have a more ominous significance?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a little scene. He hired someone to fix it. It's probably like a cool-looking creature that Lucasfilm created and are proud of creating and adding into the franchise. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be... I think it's going to be more important as a symbol for Kylo. Like, he's putting on his mask, his repaired mask again, because he's insecure about being the Supreme Leader. But eventually that mask is going to come off again. So yeah, I don't think the character's going to be of any significant importance.
When we were at our panel appearance at Celebrations, an audience member who made a lot of really good observations, they said that there was a theory floating around that maybe the mask was being repaired by a third party because they were using a fake Kylo, basically, to take the place of the Supreme Leader. And so they wanted to just hide him under the mask. And that meant, that can mean various things for Kylo Ren. What do you guys think about that? Is that possible? Is that something you'd like to see?
Yeah, that's an interesting theory.
Yeah, it's like V for Vendetta. At this point, the figurehead is more important than the actual person. It doesn't matter who is behind the mask.
Exactly.
They just want the mask to reach Silk power.
Maybe Richard E. Grant could do that.
Maybe.
Or they could actually, Hooks could do something worthwhile and do that, but I doubt he'd ever do that.
I think that's a cool premise, but I don't like that idea personally, and it's because of what you talked about, Mary. The mask has such significance when you think about what it means for Kylo trying to basically cosplay Darth Vader and what he's trying to achieve for himself with that. And so the fact that he puts it on and he takes it off and why he takes it off is so important, so special, and tied in with his character. It's almost like his lightsaber. It's an extension of him and an idea that something that he's trying to become rather than who he really is. So I would not like them to mess with the thematic significance of that. And I'd rather if he took off the mask of his own volition in a moment. For example, example, after talking to Rey again, or after choosing to definitively go back to the light and help the good guys again. So I don't know. Personally, I'd like to just not have anybody else wear that mask, but I'd be okay if they do it well.
I actually think that it would be a good sign that he's even more distant for the mask when he takes it off. It means it's totally a part of him. We can easily see like whoever wore the mask, him fighting Kylo, and it shows us him actually fighting his dark side and beating and overcoming it. Be a nice metaphorical sign, if you will, or symbol, if you will.
Oh, that'd be nice too.
Kind of like in Empire Strikes Back when Luke goes into the cave, he sees Vader, but it's actually himself wearing the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
The ring circle, except in reverse.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I don't think, and this might be too early, but I don't think Kylo is going to fully come to the light. I think he'll always like be split in the middle. I don't think he's fully going to come to the Resistance side unless it's a means to an end, like that character who cackled at the end of the trailer. But we'll get to that in a bit. So, what do you guys think?
I think that would be sad. I don't want him to be split forever, and I also don't want him to always be looking for, his own ends. I want him to be.
I don't mean that. I just mean that I don't think he won't ever be like a fully fledged member of the Resistance.
I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he could. I don't think he could be, and I think he'll be comfortable in using both light and dark, which is what I mean by being split in the middle. Not that he'll be wondering forever on who he is. In fact, I think he'll be quite comfortable with who he is at the end of the movie. But yeah, that's what I mean.
So being a full gray Jedi, embrace it, understanding that you have to have dark as well as light.
Exactly.
Both.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Thank you. Yeah, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I kind of like that actually, because it's more realistic. Star Wars is going to have a doubt ending where he's struggling with his addictions and demons all his life. It'll be like he'll have more control and more peace, if you will. So next scene, we're back on the desert planet with Poe and Finn. And I love that Finn has Rey's staff almost. I think it would be really cool if she's gifted that to him, which would be, like it's come full circle after she attacked him in The Force Awakens, which I find pretty funny. So I hope to see him wield that staff essentially. I think he just might hurt himself. I don't think he's got the skill that Rey has. Oh, come on. He probably doesn't, but he's probably gotten a lot better. I think you should stick with a blaster. That's more his thing. Well, he was pretty good with that weapon he used against Phasma, so you never know. He might be okay with it. But I love how it's like a symbol of their friendship almost, because Rey's used that weapon for years before she got the lightsaber, so that just shows how much she loves and trusts Finn if she gives her weapon to him. I love it. Well, I definitely think it's a sign that she's moved past her days on Jakku. She's embraced the new lightsaber, her sign of her moving forward, her future. So yeah, it's another thing that she met in the past. She's leaving it behind, and now Finn will hopefully find the truth and move forward to find his own future like Rey has. Mm-hmm. Next, we have Lando. Was anyone else very happy to see Lando?
I was happy and I was concerned at the same time. Like, they better not hurt Lando. That's all I will say about that. But I am happy. Of course I'm happy. And I think that it's so nice, especially because Lando has a relationship with Ben. He's Uncle Lando, Uncle Wanwo. And I think that it's going to be so good to have like one more anchor pulling Ben towards the light and telling him that, this is where you belong with us. And also somebody who can basically call him out on his BS. So I really like that. Yeah, definitely. I was just like, yay, Lando's back. Cool. I like him. And it's good to see him piloting the Millennium Falcon again.
I suppose, since it's his ship, technically. Although, now it's Ben's ship. Yeah.
Isn't it Rey's ship now?
Yeah. Rey's ship, Ben's ship. Hopefully,
Rey's ship, Rey's lightsaber.
Hopefully it's both their
ship. If it belongs to Ben, it belongs to if it belongs to Ben, then Rey has it. It belongs to her. That's how it usually works in marriages.
I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, shall we move on? We have that scene where I think it's Leia holding the medal from A New Hope and hugging Rey. Sad. I think this is going to be like one of the early scenes. In fact, I think there was a picture of Finn, Rey, Poe, and C-3PO around a forest, which it seems to be here. And I think JJ confirmed that was at the beginning of the movie. So yeah, I think any scenes with Carrie will be at the very start of the film.
We'll see. I'm still hoping that we'll have a scene with Kylo and his mom, and maybe that won't be at the beginning. So hopefully they filmed some footage of her with Adam Driver.
Or maybe to use a body double, possibly. Just something to give us some closure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I have a little funny story to tell. With when Rey hugged Leia, like my friend like messaged me and said, "Oh no, I don't think Rey and Kylo are gonna get together because we saw him kill someone in the trailer. He's still a baddie, and then Rey has found her family." I was like, "What? What do you mean Rey's found her family?" And she said she was hugging her mum in the trailer, and I was like, "That's Leia, not her mum." It was so funny.
She's kind of like her mom. I mean, she's her mother-in-law. Right?
Mother-in-law, yeah.
Yeah.
But not her actual biological mum. God, we don't need the solo theorists coming back along with the Skywalker theories, please no. But yeah, I thought it was hilarious. And then this is where it gets interesting. We see Rey, Finn, and Poe on that planet where the leaked photographs of them way back last year were taken, where Naomi Aki's character, Jannah, I think her name is, they'll obviously be there. And, drumroll, we have the remains of the second Death Star submerged in water. And I think we all know in The Force Awakens, there was concept art of Rey exploring the Death Star underwater. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
No.
Did you know that, Monty? Really? No. Oh my God! Yeah, I can't remember what it was for. I think they were searching for a MacGuffin in there, so I don't know. Maybe it's been recycled here, but for whatever reason, I'm very cool with it. And of course, Palpatine is back, ladies and gentlemen. We heard that cackle, and then of course we saw Ian McDiarmid at the end of the episode 9 panel. What are your thoughts?
That was my favorite moment of the entire panel when he said, "Roll it again."
Roll it again.
I love the Emperor, and I don't care if, it's like, oh, it's like taking a step back, whatever. I'm glad to see him. I'm glad that we'll get more of his laughter and his cackling and his deviousness. I'm just curious to see how they're going to integrate him into the story. We talked about this a little bit also in our podcast stage appearance, but how are they going to bring him in? Is he going to be physically present, or is it going to be like a hologram or a clone or maybe a Horcrux kind of thing?
Well, he came back as a clone in Legends, so we don't know. And he actually tried to possess Han and Leia's youngest child, Anakin, in Legends as well. So I don't know. Maybe he comes back through someone. We just don't know who.
Somebody was speculating at our panel that it was Hux, that he was going to inhabit Hux.
I believe the person said Hux looks just like a young Palpatine in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost identical. So I'm pretty sure the Emperor is going to be physically there. I mean, you have the actual actor. Why not bring him there? And he's like one of the best villains in the Star Wars universe. It'd be a waste not to have him there as a physical threat.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah, actually, you know what? I think if he does possess someone, I think maybe he'll either be after Kylo or Rey. But I know a lot of people have said it might be Matt Smith, that there's truth to the Matt Smith rumors now. But
he said he wasn't going to be in it, right?
Well, they can say something and mean something else. I mean, look at Star Trek Into Darkness when they said it wasn't Khan.
That's true, but after that, JJ said he would never tell a lie.
Yeah, true. But I think it's gonna be something to do with Richard E. Grant's character, because I've mentioned this before in other podcasts. In the Last Jedi novel and in some of the encyclopedias, there's a lot of mentions that the older First Order officers like Kennedy and Peavy want to restore the Empire. And this is the perfect chance to restore the Empire. I mean, they completely respect the Emperor in a way that they don't respect Snoke or Hux or the First Order. So I'm wondering if Richard E. Grant's character is like the major dragon to Palpatine, and possibly even his vessel.
What about him possessing Rey?
That could be one of his goals. Why not?
And then Kylo has to fight Rey. Palpatine.
I would love that.
I would love it too. Dude.
Knights of the Old Republic right there.
Maybe like WWE, all of a sudden the face turns heel and then the heel turns face. I can imagine Rey grabbing a chair. My God, he just hit over a chair. But it would make sense. That way it could be like Rey Kylo could fight again. It won't be so cliched. You're thinking, oh, she beat him up twice. I want to see this again. Now you kind of have to root for Ben because he's the good guy now and Rey's the bad guy, but not really the bad guy.
Even if he's the bad guy and she's the good guy, I'm still rooting for him to win because, I mean, he can't be defeated 3 times. Come on.
Yeah, third time lucky. I mean, Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that. I'm cool with Palpatine, coming back. I know I have seen a lot of people saying it's it destroys, Vader's redemption. I don't think it does because, as we've said,
No.
Palpatine found a way to return in Legends, and none of those stories undermined Vader's redemption. In fact, it was his children who took up, their father's mantle and destroyed him like their father before him. And I think this is exactly what Kylo is going to do with Rey's help. He will finish with what his grandfather started.
I think that would be beautiful, actually. Very nice kind of tying in the loose ends there. Well, what about, speaking of Palpatine and children, do you guys think that there's a chance that Rey could be a descendant of Palpatine?
I would love that. I mean,
Really?
Okay, I'm okay with the deadbeat parents reveal in The Last Jedi. I have to admit, I was never a fan of Rey Palpatine to begin with, but now with this trailer, yeah, I can see it. I mean, Palpatine had quite a few mistresses in Legends. He had Slimer and Raganda Ismarin. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was Slimer, actually bore him a son. And that son, in turn, also had a son called Ken. So, he has children in Legends. So maybe one of Rey's deadbeat parents is his child with one of his mistresses, and they abandoned her for whatever reason. Or she's his daughter through IVF, and he was experimenting.
Do you know, I'm fine with either of those, because especially the former, because I think that would be a nice way of keeping that from a certain point of view, mystique that Star Wars has, where things can still be true but can be inaccurate. Like Kylo telling Rey, your parents were deadbeat junkers, blah, blah, blah. Like that could still be true, but it's not at the end of the story, like JJ said. So her parents were that.
Actually, Rey said her parents were nobody. Rey did. All Kylo said was he just forced her to tell the truth. I mean, so the point is, her parents are nobodies. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got deadbeat junkers because he pulled it from her mind. So.
But it's also possible, because he did say you're nothing and you come from nothing. That hints at them being pretty insignificant, but that doesn't mean that her grandparents were nobody. And
Absolutely.
So I think that would be a nice way of compromising, right?
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, these deadbeat junkers could have just found her abandoned on Jakku and then took her in, but then abandoned her as well, which I think would be pretty tragic. But I also think, how it's interesting if she is related to Palpatine. It'll be interesting how she's light born of dark, just as Ben is dark born of light.
I really would like to see that, because it would just complement, the whole yin and yang thing that they have going on.
Yeah. And I think, most importantly, I think it will satisfy fans who weren't satisfied with their parentage in the Force Awakens, as well as JJ's damn mystery boxes. Oh, stop with that, please, JJ. But yeah.
And Tommy Pig did say that Rey Nobody wasn't JJ's original idea for Rey's parentage, so he has a chance to actually tie in what he actually wanted.
Yeah, I think that was pretty obvious also, because he made comments about, Rey's parents are in episode 7, and then he said that the answer to her lineage was going to be satisfying for Star Wars fans. And I don't think that you say that if the answer is, oh, nobody. So, I'm okay with, like I said, after TLJ, I'm okay with her really being nobody, but deep down, I've always wanted her to be a legacy character. And for people who say oh, why can't a woman just be a woman? Why do we have to be obsessed with her lineage? Because it's Star Wars. Lineage is a big deal in Star Wars, and of course we want her to be connected to somebody else who came before that we know, just to kind of have everything, progress. So I'm okay with her being a legacy. In fact, I want her to be a legacy character, but I'm also okay if she just ends up being whatever.
I just wanted it to make, maybe sense is the wrong word, but I wanted it to be part of the story. So, for example, I know you'll disagree with me, Lee, but I have never, ever liked the Rey Kenobi theory. I thought it would just, completely break the canon, essentially, and just give, really give a really hard explanation, to the general audience. But I think if they were to make, Rey not a legacy character, but have her lineage satisfying, they should have gone with the King Prana theory, or the fact that her parents were either first officers or Darksiders who accidentally released Snoke. That was a favorite theory of mine. Just tie it in personally with her character and with the First Order. But obviously they didn't do that. I just said, oh, then my parents are nobody. The end. And
Well,
yeah,
we don't know. I mean, there's still episode 9. I still want her to be Rey Kenobi, of course. I think it would be wonderful. And especially because, like I said before, I mean, Rey being the descendant of Obi-Wan would keep that kind of Obi-Wan and Skywalker thing that we've had throughout all of the trilogies except for this one. So, and still he called her Rey, you know, he called her Rey. Why would he call her by name if she were like nobody, you know?
because he's a Force ghost who has a personal connection to that lightsaber.
Nah.
Yes.
I don't think that's strong enough for him to say, Rey, these are your first steps. He sounded so grandfatherly when he said that.
No, not to me. I think he sounded like a teacher. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add?
As long as she's not Rey Skywalker, that's all that matters. After the end of the day, I don't care about anything else.
Or
She
Rey
can be
Solo.
Rey Skywalker by marriage and
Yeah,
Rey
that's
Solo
what I
by
meant.
marriage.
I just want to finally get that out the way so I don't have to deal with it anymore.
Speaking of Rey Skywalker, that title, that stupid title. Okay, guys, I know it's a good sign for Ben Redemption and Reylo, but haters gotta hate. I'm sorry, I hate it. Why do I hate it? Because it's brought back the Rey Skywalker theory in full force. I mean, people who didn't like Rey's parentage question in The Last Jedi have now jumped back onto the Rey Walker train, and Lucasfilm have done nothing to quell them.
Because that's the point. They want them to jump back on the train so they can go buy tickets and see the movie.
But it's a bad marketing decision, in my opinion, because those fans are just going to be upset all over again.
Yeah, but they'll get over it, you know,
Will
in the
they?
5 years or 10 years.
Will
Disney
they?
will already have their money at that point, so
Yeah.
they won't care.
Will they? People
Yeah.
are still fighting over whether Hermione should have gotten with Harry or Ron. So I don't think so.
But at the same
Should
time,
have got with Ron. I'm saying that right now.
I don't
shouldn't.
care.
But at the same time, if they make another Harry Potter movie, those people are going to go watch it first day. So it doesn't matter if they stay mad as long as they buy the ticket. So I think it makes sense from that perspective. Also, I mean, we've been hearing them saying Rey Walker for 5 years now going on, and whatever. They're always going to be talking about it even after it doesn't happen. Then it's like, oh, how dare they not do it? So whatever, you know, it doesn't really bother me. But is there another reason why you don't like the title? Because you just definitely do not like it. What else is going on there?
Especially with that, but I just think it's just a generic title. I mean, Force Awakens was a pretty cool title, and so was The Last Jedi, if I'm being honest. But yeah, the main reason why I hate it is because of I think it's just going to make it's given a lot of fans false hope, and it's going to make them angry when they finally go and see the movie, and I don't like that. I think it should have been something a bit more cool, and yet still giving a bit of hope towards, you know, Kylo's redemption, like a spark of hope. I know that's the name of one of the games at the minute, but a spark of hope would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, some fans, the haters need to get through the head. Ben is a Skywalker. Just because he doesn't have the last name doesn't change the fact he's a Skywalker. I mean, his grandfather's name was Anakin Skywalker. By virtue, he's the Skywalker. Some people just don't want to accept that.
Nope, they're lost. But if you want siblings fighting each other, read the EU with Jason and Jaina. There is your Skywalker siblings versus story. But yep, I'm sorry, I don't like the title. If they steer it away in later marketing, steering away that Rey is still not a Skywalker, then possibly I might like it more. But as of now, honestly, I'm angry at it. I really, really am angry at it. In no small fact to the fact that we were saying for 2 years between 2015 and 2017 that Rey was not a Skywalker, and this just brings back, you know, this is just gonna, we're just like, oh god, we're gonna have to go through this again.
She's still not a Skywalker, so, you know, I like the title. I think it's generic. I agree with you there. I think the main reason why I like it is because it's basically broadcasting Bendemption, because it's the rise of Skywalker. Kylo Ren is the Skywalker. I think it's a beautiful progression also in terms of the title. Like, somebody actually pointed this out on Twitter, I saw earlier, and I'm sorry I'm not crediting because I don't remember. I just saw it. But it said how the final installment of each trilogy, we have Revenge, Return, and now Rise. So it just kind of beautifully uplifts, you know, the ending. So I don't know, I just think it's perfect. It tells you everything you need to know about what to expect. I think the thing about her, the Rise of Skywalker means Rise of Skywalker, I think that's a very short-sighted interpretation. And if people want to go in that direction, that's their problem. But I just really like how it all comes full circle in that title. Also, the speculation about what does it mean if it's the Rise of Skywalker. Is that a title? Is that going to be now a formal title? Like I mentioned before, there's a theory about that maybe Skywalker is now not going to be a person, but rather maybe a new order or, a formal title for the Master Jedi of each generation. So I love all the promise contained in that title.
Ben and Rey become Emperor and Empress of the Galaxy. Make it happen.
Well...
That's a fanfiction theory. I don't actually want that to happen, but I love it in fanfiction.
Anything else that we want to say about... Monty, you didn't say what you think about the title.
I'm indifferent towards the title. I'm going to wait for the movie to come out, and that'll determine if the movie's good and it ties into the title, I might dig it in. If the movie's good, then fine, I'll live with it. So,
well
like
said.
I said, I want the movie to be good overall. That's the main thing I care about. And hopefully we get another trailer that will give us more clues, and if you will.
Yeah. Oh my god, if we have another trailer like the Last Jedi trailer where everyone lost their minds over that hand scene at the end, that'll be awesome.
That's what I'm expecting will happen. Because, like I said, this trailer was like, okay for me. But I'm really hopeful for the next one being kind of like just blowing everybody away and doing something that's, even if it's ambiguous, something Reylo-tastic. I think that would be really important.
Do you imagine if we had another hand gate? It's not Kylo's hand, it's Finn's hand, it's Hooks' hand.
So the other thing I wanted to say about the title, and part of the reason why I like it, is because it gives me a really good feeling like it's going to be all right. Whereas I remember when the reveal happened for The Last Jedi, I had this kind of like bad feeling. Like there's something about that sounds pretty kind of ominous, like something maybe not right, Why is it The Last Jedi? And then it turned out that the movie itself, I felt, was like deconstructing things, and I didn't like seeing that. So, but this time, it feels like it's all going to be okay. And even for me, the sequel trilogy hasn't progressed necessarily in ways that I've agreed with, but I think it's all going to come full circle with this final episode, and the title just kind of hints at that to me.
You see, Lee, I agree, because when The Last Jedi teaser came out, I was so excited for the movie. I mean, I thought it would be like the best Star Wars movie ever, and then when I saw it, that wasn't the case, shall we say.
Yeah,
so,
same here.
And then,
same here.
Yeah, and then when I saw this teaser, I'm indifferent towards it. I didn't really find it that exciting, but, it is what it is. But if I didn't find it exciting, then I'm hoping that the movie will be excellent.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather, somehow I think the trailer for The Last Jedi is one of the best trailers I've ever seen. I thought it was so well edited, paced, and they included just the right shots there to get you, into a fever pitch over the movie. But then the movie itself was a letdown for me. So I hope this way it's kind of the other way around, where the teaser's like, but then the movie's like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm still very hopeful. I was left with a feeling of hope. And I think that's why I like the title overall.
Yeah, I felt the same way about The Last Jedi. I was super amped when I saw the trailer. After I saw it, I was like, from a technical aspect, it's good. It's all that stuff. But I just felt a little burnt out from Star Wars. It's like,
All's well that ends well. Yay, episode 9.
Yay.
Moving on. So guys, tell me about your Star Wars Celebration experience. As our listeners will know, you had 2 panels there. So Monty, this was your first celebration. How was it?
It was bloody brilliant. I'm definitely looking forward to the next year's one. I got to meet so many Star Wars fans. I had a chance to wear a costume without looking like a weirdo, so...
Well, Monty, I saw pictures of your costume. You looked awesome. I was only disappointed in one thing. Why didn't you wear a wig?
I'm not going that hardcore, all right? I got the costume, I got the saber. I worked out so I could get my bridal carry on. What more do you people want?
Long, luxurious hair.
The bridal carry was fabulous. I loved it.
But yeah, Lee, this being your second Star Wars celebration, how was it?
It was fantastic. I mean, the thing about Celebration is it's nothing like it anywhere else, because everywhere you go, there were hardcore Star Wars fans. And, you know, there's so much negativity in the media about the fans, in the fandom itself online, because I think that people just pour all their negativity and frustration, and they get emboldened by the fact that they don't have to come face to face with other humans when they're being hateful. But when you go to Celebration, everybody's there in person. It's like, it doesn't matter if you agree or not on things. People are still there just to celebrate Star Wars and enjoy it in their own way. And they're respectful of other people who choose to enjoy it in a different way. So I didn't see anything negative, or, you know, it was just a big bash. It was a celebration, and it was fantastic. I also got to cosplay, and that was so much fun. It was especially fun because a lot of little kids wanted to take pictures with me looking like Queen Amidala. And, you know, you get to meet so many fans and people that we've been talking to online forever. We got to meet in person. So it was just an experience I'll never forget. You know, I'm really looking forward to Anaheim next year.
Your costume was the best. I mean, every time we went out, people were like, "Oh, can I take your picture with you? You look really, really authentic."
Thank you. I'm really glad it came together. I'd never made anything before. And so, yeah, it was just fun. And I also cosplayed Anakin. That was actually my favorite one. But I didn't take any pictures of it. Next time.
Did you find any Padmes?
I did not. All the Padmes were with Anakins or with other Padmes. I tried to talk Denise into doing her hair like Padme, because then, you know, we could kind of go together. But she was like doing her Darth Maul thing. So, and she looked awesome, by the way.
She looked amazing. Like when I saw a picture of her in her Darth Maul makeup, I didn't recognize her. She looked fantastic.
She looked fabulous, yeah.
But yeah, and how was the panel, guys? Tell me all about those panels.
Oh, it's my first time doing a panel, and I believe on a romance shipping panel, that was the biggest audience I've ever spoke in front of. So it was definitely, kind of a baptism by fire.
I wouldn't be able to tell, Monty. Like, you are natural. You're so relaxed and chill. That actually helped me, because I was nervous because, you know, we'd gotten some hate and some threats of disruption or whatever. And there was a lot of anticipation building positively and negatively. But when you hear people saying things that are kind of scary, you kind of focus more on that. So I went in thinking that it was going to be like a hostile audience. And it turned out just the opposite. Like, everybody there was so supportive, so happy to have us present. And I was especially happy about the fact that we had non-Reylos in attendance who were there to root on their ships. And they were happy to cheer on their people, you know, when they got mentioned. And they weren't just part of the audience. There was nothing disruptive or tense or negative about it. It was just like a big celebration of shipping at Celebration. So that was fantastic.
I think the fact that we were respectful towards all ships and all angles was another reason there wasn't that much animosity. We gave a little shout to, we acknowledged Finn Ray and Poe Ray and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave, you know, a little credence to everyone.
Right. And, you know, I think that the fear was that people thought we were going to go bash their ships. Like, we've never done that. Even here, we're a Reylo podcast, and we're not shy about that. But we are respectful of other ships, you know. So, like, when we make poke fun, like good-natured fun here and there, but we've never been disrespectful of ships or of the people who ship their ships. So, because we've had that done to us, and it's not fun. But I think lots of people didn't know us. They had no idea what we were about, and they didn't know what to expect, so they assumed the worst. And it was good that it ended up just, you know, proving that we can have a shipping discussion without people getting punched and 911 getting called. So, it was great.
And last question. Well, I think you guys have already answered this. Are you going into Anaheim next year?
I am, for sure.
Yeah, I would have rolled out. So I just need to know when it's going to happen, and I should be really good to go.
We were talking off there, and I think my personal opinion is it's going to be in summer, June, July-ish, because I don't think if it's in April next year, I don't think Lucasfilm will have enough time to prepare, and I don't think it'll give travelers enough time to prepare. So I reckon it's going to be in the summer, hopefully when LA is at its hottest. And another question, will you be visiting Galaxy's Edge while you're there?
I'll play it by ear. I'm not really like an amusement theme park person. I have very sensitive to motion sickness, so I don't get on anything that can make me dizzy, because I'll pay for it for a whole day. But I went to the Harry Potter theme park in Orlando when I was there for Celebration, and it was amazing. So I think probably I'll end up going, yeah.
I never even heard of this Galaxy's Edge till I went to Star Wars Celebration. So I'll play it by ear. If it looks like it'll be fun, I'll give it a go.
Well, I am going to Disneyland California Park in June, and I will definitely be meeting Kylo Ren and other Star Wars characters there. That is my plan. So if I enjoy it, I will definitely recommend to you guys that you go when you go to Celebration next year.
Monty, if you go or when we go to Anaheim, are you going to cosplay again?
I'll play it by ear.
You have your Kylo outfit. You might as well use it again.
I might save that and use it one last time when the episode 9 comes out.
I'm definitely going to cosplay Anakin again. I loved it. And I'm also going to probably do Padme again, but I'm going to redo the headdress a little bit and just correct the little things that I'm seeing that I could have done better. And oh my god, my dream is to do an Emphas Nest cosplay. But that is really long and involved, and I have to be realistic. Like, I could actually drive to Chicago for Celebration, so I had like 8 pieces of luggage. I'm not even kidding. But I can't do that for California, so I really have to be realistic and just aim for 2 cosplays, not 3. So we'll see.
On the off chance that I do go, I will definitely be cosplaying Mara Jade again. We need to keep Mara Jade alive, in my opinion.
There weren't that many. I only saw 1 at Celebration the whole time that I was there, which was a shame.
No.
Same here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I just saw 1 and that's it.
But she looked amazing.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. No, I will definitely be cosplaying as her. And I'm hoping, I really want to do a Dark Supreme Empress Rey cosplay. I'm actually working on one right now, but unfortunately time and money is an issue. But yes, that is a dream cosplay of mine.
Okay.
Who knows, we might see Dark Empress Rey in the movie for a little bit. Just a teensy-weensy little bit. Still might
Dark Empress Palpatine Rey.
Yeah, that could work. He takes over her body. She busts out the whole golf outfit, all leather.
And doing the Force lightning. I'd be more than okay with that.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Giving snappy comebacks. You have paid the price for your lack of vision. I would love that.
And Monty, you and me could pose for pics if you're going as Kylo Ren again.
Oh, that sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. Anything else you guys want to add?
I want to ask Monty, what was your favorite part, aside from our panel, obviously, what was your favorite part about Celebration?
I guess meeting so many of my friends online for the first time. That was definitely the best part. Meeting you, Denise, all the other friends that we met online. That was a highlight. That was
the highlight for me as well. Aside from meeting you guys in person, when after each panel that we did, and sometimes when we're walking around and people recognized us from attending a panel, they would come up to us and they would say, like, I've been listening to you guys for 3 years, you know, and it helped me so much to get like a better understanding of the movie, and it helped me to hear that other people cared about it in the same way I did, and that other people were talking about Reylo, because I felt like I couldn't talk about it anywhere else. Like, I heard that so much from so many different people. And we got, you know, cards and like people just wanting to take pictures with us and tell us how much they appreciate what we're doing. It was just so nice. But also, again, the experience of being like immersed in Star Wars for 5 days and getting to be a kid, dress up as your favorite character and walk around and nobody bats an eye. I mean, that's fantastic. It's definitely worth going to. For anybody on the fence about Anaheim, definitely go and let's meet up there.
Yeah, meeting the fans was a big plus for me too. Like, actually having people ask for my autograph and like, oh, I love your panel. You guys are so knowledgeable. Like you're saying, like I felt I was alone, the only person who like Reylo, and it's nice to see other people who actually like it too.
Yeah, the Reylos were out like full force at Celebration, and I think it'll be even more so after episode 9 because we'll have more Reylo converts, you know, people who didn't see it before, who will see it in 9 and they're like, oh my god, that's perfect.
That is so nice to hear, because as someone who went to the 2016 and 2017 celebrations, it was difficult because we were so afraid. I think we've mentioned this plenty of times in like our other episodes, but yeah, I mean, we were afraid to like be out in the open as Reylos. I mean, the group, I was with some of the girls from Star Wars Connection, and I've said before, they wore their Reylo shirts, and I was so in awe of them because I was not brave enough to do that. So it's that's so lovely to hear. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I wore my Reylo shirt and no one even batted an eye.
All right, well, thanks for listening, guys. We hope you enjoyed, and let us know your thoughts about the title trailer and your celebration experiences in the comments below. Please subscribe, it helps us a lot, and you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and iTunes, and SoundCloud. Until next time, and may the Force serve you well.